Hello and welcome to the Girl That Went For It podcast. I'm your host, Johanna Scholz, also known as Johanna Lian on Instagram, and author of Believe in Life, How to Dance in the Rain. If you want to live your dream life and become the best version of yourself, then this podcast is for you. I hope that I can inspire and encourage you to never give up and to always believe in yourself. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, Johanna_Liana, for daily content. And now enjoy this episode. Hello and welcome back to my new episode. Today I'm here with my friend Hannah and we're gonna talk about self-growth, saying yes, going for new opportunities, but also taking care of yourself and also what we learned along the way of taking new opportunities. Hi Hannah.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. We've been planning this for a while now, finally.
Finally, we found a time in our diaries.
Yes, because we're busy people and that's something we're going to talk about as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, feel free to introduce yourself.
So I'm Hannah, I'm 23, living in Hawke's Bay, currently in a marketing role, but I've also got background experience in like television and events. Yeah. It's a little bit about me.
So yeah, as you heard, Hannah's 23. I feel like so old, 27. But I always say like age is just the number. Is that the same? I said it wrong earlier. Yeah, and I feel like I never feel like Hannah or like I'm 4 years older than Hannah or something like that, because also Hannah experienced so much in her lifetime. Yeah. It sounds like I'm so old, but I don't mean it that way.
I feel like you've experienced a lot as well, like just in different ways.
Yeah,
I mean, you've moved to the other side of the world, but
yeah.
So I've moved around a bit in New Zealand. So I grew up in Blenheim until I was 16, and then I moved to Christchurch, did a 4-year stint there. That's where I went to uni, went up to Auckland for a little bit and did an internship after uni, and then COVID happened, so I ended up coming to Hawke's Bay and I've been loving it.
Yeah, that's how we met in Hawke's Bay,
2020? Yeah, end of 2020.
Wow. Yeah, so as I said, we want to talk a little bit about opportunities and growth, self-growth. So what would you say, or like the opportunities that brought you to where you are today, like what brought you here today?
I think like for me, it was finding that foundation of what do I want to do in my life and what can I do to get the most out of it. So for my example, I studied a Bachelor of Communications specializing in television. So that gave me the foundation of I could produce a television show, but I could also put on an event, which I was also interested in. So I sort of killed two birds with one stone. You know that saying?
Yes, I know that
one. So that was that. And then part of my degree was also being able to market whatever I was making and things like that. So I've made a really good foundation for myself going into the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So when I went up to Auckland, I did my internship after my studies, and with COVID, it didn't go anywhere. So when I moved to Hawke's Bay, there was so many opportunities and events, and when I was studying TV, I also wanted to study event planning, but I got told that there's not really much point because it's quite similar. So that's where I sort of made the first steps, starting my own business at first actually, and managing some musicians around the place and setting them up with gigs, and then that sort of got me to talk to the right people about running my own events or going alongside them in their events. And then part of that is meeting other people, and now I'm in this marketing role, but I also do events within that. So confusing, but
I feel like you just mentioned a really good point there. We didn't talk about that before, but I
forgot about it. It was so long ago.
But you just said that you actually were really interested in events, but then decided to start to study TV because people told you it's the same, and now you're actually going back to what you first wanted to do. It's kind of like the circle is closing. You actually wanted to do that from the start, but then kind of listen to what other people told you to do.
Yeah.
But then realize you're actually more into the events part.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think as well, what we were talking about at sort of the start of this podcast was like laying the foundations for myself. I was also doing that by creating my own business when I moved here, because there were no opportunities for me here. At that time, obviously I was trying to go down the television route, and in Hawke's Bay there's not many opportunities in TV. So I sort of had to make an opportunity for myself and to get me through. That's
so good. I feel like people have to listen to this part again. Make an opportunity for yourself. Because so many people tell themselves, oh, there's nothing out there for me. Like all this negative and saying there's nothing there, then nothing will come up or will be there. And you literally you created something out of nothing and started managing artists and stuff and help them to get gigs, which is such a cool experience, and also which led you to kind of where you are today, because you met people through people, and it's, I think, something that's so hard when you move somewhere new. You don't have your security net, you don't have all the contacts you would have if you were living with your parents or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or even just that database, like you create a database of connections wherever you live. And it takes a couple years sometimes to get that database and like get that trust from the other person as well.
Definitely. What would you say is, because we talked about opportunities and taking opportunities, what did you learn from saying yes to opportunities, or what made you say yes to opportunities? Is there like a little advice you received?
Yeah. So when I was in uni, I had this awesome tutor, and his advice always stuck with me. He said, say yes to any opportunity that comes your way, especially when you're like starting out as like an intern, for example. Like you have to say yes. Like it's a pretty challenging industry. But that's just always stuck with me. So now in the position I'm in, I'm doing a full-time marketing role, but I'll have like event companies ask me to do like contracts for them, or like a little bit of work for them, whatever it is. And I'll always make it work, because you build this relationship with them. They sort of rely on you, but they also trust you, and that's a nice feeling to have.
Yeah.
So yeah, my biggest advice for anyone as well is to just say yes to anything that comes your way.
Yeah, because you never know what you will get. Like when you say yes, like you said, the opportunities that will come up, or the relationship you're gonna form. I think a really important thing is then as well to come back to visualizing your future self and think, what would she do?
Yeah,
she would say yes to the opportunity.
Exactly.
She wouldn't be lazy not saying that. I'm not saying you're lazy when you say no, because if your plate is too full, you can say no. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's about the balance.
Yeah, but if you know it will bring you further in the future, definitely say yes.
I think another thing as well is like you have to have goals in your life, and one of my big goals right now is I want to travel the world. So that obviously isn't going to come without making some money. So that is a bit of a driving factor for me right now. So getting these opportunities coming my way, of course I'm going to say yes, because those opportunities I'm saying yes to are helping me
with the big goal.
Eventually to do my big goal, just travel the world.
And it's so good. We talked about that earlier, to have a goal to save towards too. Because we were just talking a little bit about wedding, and I was like, it's so nice now that I have something to
it's so exciting
to save for, because before that I was saving money, but I haven't really had like a goal. I mean, I always talk about goals, but not in the way of money goals. I always feel like goals you set yourself. And now it's nice to have a goal, and like you as well. Do you know you want to travel the world, so you're gonna save for that. That's so exciting. But we also talked about, or something we wanted to chat about, was saying yes and finding the balance. Exactly. So what would you say is your or when you, like you said, you have your marketing job, and then also you have those projects that you're running and your week is, I don't know how many hours, 60 or even
a lot.
Yeah. How do you find balance? How do you prioritize your relationship, for example, and friendships? We kind of talk, about busy seasons in life.
Yeah. There's been so many busy seasons this year especially, and it's been interesting trying to balance all of those things because obviously I hold my relationship super high, so I want to look after that first and foremost. That would be my biggest priority. So it's, watching our show together in the evenings, having our dinner together, making sure we go for a walk once a day just so that we can catch up, and going to the gym in the morning together if that's what we're doing or whatever. So we make sure we have those specific things. Obviously, my full-time job, that's a 9 to 5 sort of thing. So you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And then anything past that is what I need to make sure I fit in. So for a while there, I was getting up at 4 a.m., working till 6, going to the gym, then going to my normal job, and then still doing a bit afterwards. But that's when it first started, and I've sort of been able to find the balance since then and being I can actually do these hours in the weekend or after work. But yeah, as you said as well, your friendships and everything like that. And I definitely think that that's been on the back burner. But I'm super lucky I've got friends that understand that these are just seasons and this is my busy season.
Yeah.
And it's so important to have those friends in your life.
And I think it's so important to have the conversation about it because we literally... So Hannah walked in and I was like, oh my gosh, it's been so long. But I didn't mean it in a way you don't have time for me. And then she was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I was like, don't be sorry. I was busy too. And it's just how life is. And I think it's so good when you can have the conversation with your friends and saying hey, I'm just in a really busy season. I want to save money and this is or a priority for my trip, or I'm just working on my career at the moment. I still love you, but I'm just really busy.
Yeah.
And I think this is such an important conversation to have. And even when you don't answer for a while on a message, that's fine. I know you're busy. Or I had a brunch on Sunday and I knew you were busy, and I said, just come if you make it. If not, I totally understand. And I think it's so good to have friendships, relationships where you can just openly say, and also openly say how you feel, sorry, I'm really burned out, I'd rather stay home today.
Honestly, it's been such a game changer for me as well, having friends like you, that it's actually okay to feel that way, and you don't have to be going out every weekend or a coffee every week or whatever. The friendship's there, it's going to be there forever. Don't stress.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting tears in my eyes.
Don't cry.
But it's so true. Yeah. And it's I feel these are the best friendships when you don't catch up for 3 months. I don't even know when we saw each other last time.
I can't remember.
But then you get in touch, you check up every now and then, and they're just in a busy phase, and it's I'm here, your cheerleader, go you.
And I'm your cheerleader.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's an important thing in life, to have your circle and make sure you have people around you that give you energy and are not draining.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
if you have a 60-hour week or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. To come back to the topic of prioritizing certain things in your life when you have such a busy schedule, for example, you said with your partner, we both know how a busy life can affect your body. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? How
Even in these busy seasons, I think it's so important to listen to your body and to know your body well enough to be actually, this is going to give this week, or I need 2 weeks to, not do something. For example, at the moment, I'm really drained from everything that's going on. So I've decided that the gym is just on hold. I need to listen to my body. My body's telling me, if you go to the gym, you're going to get sick. And I can't afford to get sick right now.
Yeah.
So I think for anyone listening, you've got to really understand your body. And even though I said say yes to everything that comes your way, there is a point where you need to be like, actually, I'm taking on too much. I need to do something for me, whether that's like go get a massage or go get your nails done, go for a coffee with your friend. It's super important.
100%. And I just said earlier, I'm like in a similar phase, or was in a similar phase, but or at the moment, feeling so tired. And then sometimes, even though I love working out, I just realize I just need to chill or just have a little stretch. And it's just really important, like you said, to listen to your body and also to slow down, especially when you're working really hard to achieve your goals, to always come back to yourself and to your body and to your soul and mind. And check in with yourself.
And it's good to know what those things are to help sort of align you again. And a few other things could be like just going and sitting at the ocean. Like I know both of us really enjoy doing stuff like that.
I feel like one really important thing is taking a deep breath, or like really focusing on your breath, because I feel like when I'm working sometimes I just have this, do you say like shallow, or like just
shallow breathing,
not like a really deep one. So I feel like that's a really important one too, just to literally put everything away, your phone, Netflix, or whatever it is that you kind of relax with as well, and just really focus on your breathing.
And like fuel your body with the right things as well. So like drink all the water that you're meant to be drinking. Like that will make you feel 100 times better. Don't just like have heaps of energy drinks or anything like that.
Coffee.
Coffee. I mean, coffee's your blood type.
So
exactly. I don't even think it will like affect you anymore.
Love that. I think it does. I don't know. Should have more water.
More water, more greens, like that. Those foundation, like the basics, is also going to help those energy levels and everything.
100%. I realize when I don't have my greens or like don't eat good, I'm so tired. Like even though sometimes you have those days where you feel like chocolate, like not saying it's bad, like obviously.
I have chocolate daily at the moment. But it's what my body needs.
Exactly. But then still making sure you get all your vitamins, because it really makes a difference.
100%.
I think this was an awesome episode with heaps of tips. Let's just sum it all up. So our advice, or Hannah's advice from this episode, is to say yes to opportunities.
And to listen to your body.
And to talk with your friends about, or open conversation about, your busy season and not feeling bad when you can't make it to certain things.
It's so important to have those supportive friends around you.
Awesome. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, that does it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in today. If you like this episode and don't want to miss any new ones, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share it with your friends or on social media. It really means a lot to me. It will help me to create this podcast. You can find me on Instagram, Johanna_Liana. I'm always happy to connect, so flick me a message if you want. Enjoy the rest of your day, and always remember, it's a beautiful day to have a good day. It's a beautiful day to be alive.